Welcome to Gumbo Talk. Gumbo Talk is a discussion of all different thoughts, concepts, ideas, spiritual, religious, political, thoughts of the universe, thoughts of you, thoughts of me, thoughts of thoughts. Gumbo. Hope you have a palate for flavor and taste. And I hope you enjoy your taste of gumbo. Now, a lot of times we don't really understand that this is just a journey for us. And one thing that we have to come to grips with, as I said before, we're just spirits having a human experience. Now, so if we look at the essence of you, when you're born here, it says that from the ancients, it says that when you're born into this reality, and when you chose to come to earth, one of the criteria was that you had to forget what you're here for. And your whole journey on life is to find you. The essence of who you are is to find you. And when you're born into a family, and that family comes from a certain cultural background, a certain heritage, in most cases, what we call a race. It's not really something man-made we call race, but a cultural background. Now, those are certain ingredients that you need to help cultivate you. See, because the word culture comes out of cultivation. To cultivate means that you have a certain type of mineral source that you can pull from to cultivate. Because you're put in this human form. If we take into consideration with African Americans, one of the biggest problems that African Americans have is not knowing their culture. Culture is a very important thing because culture cultivates. And like I said, if it's Hispanic or if it's an Asian or if it's a European, all of them pull their greatness in a lot of cases through their culture. Everyone does. Japanese are very culturally orientated, was destroyed twice in the 20th century, World War I, World War II. Within less than 100 years, they came back as a superpower. Germany was destroyed twice in World War I and World War II, came back as a superpower. Where do these people build from? They build from culture. Usually when someone is planting in your farm, they give you his story. When you plant in your own farm, then you have your history. See, history is so important to you feeling good about you because, see, history will make you feel good about you no matter on how much monetary that you have. In Japanese culture, the janitor, the one that does manual labor, is respected by every aspect of the Japanese culture for his contributions to the society as a whole. And he takes pride and honor in his janitorial service, his waiter service, because he's still a human being. And he performs whatever he does well. You see? But culture means that you have to cultivate. There's two kind of plant lives in a garden. There's flowers and there's weeds. Now see, the difference between the two, flowers have to be cultivated. Weeds are just going to grow. So a lot of times people say, well, the youth are like this. Well, because you didn't cultivate them and they turn into weeds. That's just a natural process of life. There's two ways to destroy a flower: underwatered and overwatered. And see, a lot of times we underwater and a lot of times we overwater. You just have to know what plant you're dealing with and give it that much nourishment. Too much, too less is going to destroy it. But when you talk about culture, culture is cultivation. When you cultivate means that you allow to nourish. You pull the insects, you take the weeds away. You know, a lot of times we have children and we allow insects to come around our children. Now you planted your seed with your mate, you grew these plants, and all of a sudden you let insects that you call your friends or your so-called friends infect your garden. It is your duty to make sure that that doesn't happen. Because it is your garden. Your garden, your family is just another name for a garden. You cannot allow yourself to end up taking your kids to, send them to college, and you think that's a degree. I'm going to give my kids a good education. I'm going to let them become this PhD and let them marry some stone fool I have no background on. Now see, you didn't protect your crops then. You let an insect come in and destroy your family. So now you in child support. Every other, see your child in child support. Your grandparents have to take care of your grandchildren because you never got involved in the ritual of helping, cultivation again, helping your child and teaching them that we're going to participate in what you bring into our family, because you never look at yourself as a family. You love them because they look good, the sex was good, and they had a job, and that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. You's a fool. See, when you develop a culture, you create certain value systems and certain morals, and you create certain things that are appropriate and things that are not appropriate, things that are etiquette and that's not etiquette. You have a ritual of how you perform in all different walks of life. This becomes culture. Millions and millions were killed in World War II. What brought them back as a power? Culture. They were proud to be Jewish people. They were proud of their heritage, and they have built, if we call it right or wrong, in what they do and how they treat other people. But one thing we have to say on the other side is that they are very proud on being a Jew. This is Askia Muwwakkil, holistic practitioner, chef of Gumbo Talk. I hope you enjoyed the flavor. I hope it wasn't too salty or too sweet. I hope it was just right. Tune in again for a little bit more of Gumbo Talk.